Hello there, this is TV from WSO2 and I warmly welcome you all to a new episode of Identity in 15. So before we move into our topic today, I have got an exciting news. The file-down version of the Identity server has just been launched and the link to the product page is available down below in the description. So I would highly urge you all to go to our product page, download our product and try it out. So the topic for today is adding social login buttons to your website. So as you may have already known, WSO2's identity server allows federated identity. That is, it allows you to bring your own identity. So you will be able to log into WSO2's identity server through your Facebook account, Microsoft account, Google account, so on and so forth. Now, once you add an identity provider, you will be able to add it as an authenticator to a service provider and allow users to log in to WSO2's identity server through that federated identity provider. When you do so, you'll be taken to a single sign-on page where in addition to the username and password field, you will also be able to see a button that will allow you to go to an identity provider's login page and allow users to log in through their federated identity provider. But what if you want the user to be taken directly to the login page of a federated identity provider instead of the single sign-on page? So this is what we'll be looking at today. And in order to demonstrate that, I have got this demo app, which is a simple HTML page. And as you all can see, there are two buttons here. One is the sign in button. The other one is to continue with Facebook button. So once you click on the sign in button, you'll be taken to the single sign-on page of WSO2's identity server. And once you click on continue with Facebook, you'll be taken directly to Facebook login page. Yes, today we'll be using Facebook as the federated identity provider. Now, so I have got the code of this application here. So as you can see, the JavaScript logic has been implemented here. So I have used Asgardio JavaScript SDK to implement the authentication here. So if you want to learn more about Asgardio JavaScript SDK, we did an Identity in 15 episode quite a few weeks back on how to use the Asgardio's JavaScript SDK. So the link to it is available in the description, I believe. So I will strongly urge you all to go check it out to learn more about how you can use our JavaScript SDK. So before we begin, we need to create a service provider. So go to WSO2 Identity Server's Carbon console, and under service providers, click on add. So give us a name to the service provider. So I'm going to name it Identity in 15. Click on register. So once you register, click on inbound authentication configuration or OpenID Connect configuration and click on configure. So here you will have to provide the callback URL. So since this is a simple HTML web application, you just need to provide the URL of the application. So paste the URL of the application here without the application here, and tick allow authentication without the client secret, because this will be a public client, so we can't use client secret. And then check select SSO session based access token binding type and click on add. So once you do that, you will get this client key. So let me copy this key and go back to my code. And in front of client ID, let me replace client ID with this particular client ID. So let me save the code and go back to my application. And let me refresh my application and see if it works. Let me click on sign in. Yes, it works. I will be able to sign in with my admin credentials. So let me click on continue. As you can see, this is my username and I have logged into my application with WSO2's identity server. Now let's see how we can add an identity provider. So to add Facebook as the identity provider, go to developers.facebook.com. So you should have a Facebook account and you should have logged into your Facebook account in order to be able to do this. And click on My Apps on the top right-hand corner. And once you click on it, click on Create App. And out of these four options, select the third option because we'll be using this Facebook application only for Facebook login. So click on Continue and give an app a display name. So I will name it once again as Identity in 15. Click on Create App and complete the security check. And click on Submit. So once that's done, you can click on Settings and select Basic. And here you will get an app ID as well as an app secret. So now let's go back to our Carbon console and try to create an identity provider. So in order to do so, what you need to do is under identity providers, click on add. So give a name to your identity provider. Let me call it Facebook. And then under federated authenticators, select Facebook configuration and enable Facebook authentication. And for client ID, copy the app ID. And for client secret, copy the app secret. So sometimes you might be asked to input your password. So if it asks you to do that, just input your password. So once that's done, we can register our identity provider. Now we have registered our identity provider. We need to add this identity provider as an authenticator to our service provider. So in order to do that, go to under service providers, select list, uh, go to edit in front of identity in 15, and then select local and outbound authentication configuration, advanced configuration. And in the first step, under federated authenticators, select Facebook and add it as an authenticator. Now click on update and then update the service provider as well. Now let me go back to my application and sign out. And let me click on sign in once again. So here now you can see there's a button called sign in with Facebook. Now once you click on this sign in with Facebook button, you will be taken directly to Facebook's login page. Since I'm already logged into Facebook, you won't be able to see that. So let me log out of my Facebook account quickly. So this is just a test account. So let me log out. Okay. So let me go back to the application and click on sign in with Facebook. So I'm taken to Facebook's login page. So once I log in with my credentials, I need to give the necessary permissions. Yes. And then remember my consent. Allow. So this is my user ID. So I have logged into WSO2's identity server with my Facebook account. So now let me sign out once again. Now, as you will notice, I had to go to the single sign-on page and then click on a button to go to Facebook's login page. Now, what if I want to directly go to Facebook's login page without landing on the single sign-on page of WSO2's identity server? So in order to do that, let me quickly get back to the Carbon console once again. And under identity providers, let me select our identity provider. So here you can see a parameter called home realm identifier. So this identifier is a unique ID that will help WSO2's identity server identify this particular identity provider during authorization. So let's give a unique value to it. So let me call it FP and click on update. Now, once that's done, let's go back to our code. So here you can see this is the continue with Facebook button. So here we have an on-click event handler called FB login. So if you go to the JavaScript code, you can see this event handler called FB login. So just like the sign in event handler, it calls the sign in method of SDK. But unlike the sign in method, it passes an argument. So this argument is the home realm identifier, so which would tell the identity server which identity provider's login page to redirect the user to. So since I named the identity provider's home realm identifier as FP, let me specify FP as the home realm identifier and click on save. So now let me go back to my application, refresh my application, and click on continue with Facebook. Now, as you can see, I have been logged in. This is because I'm already logged into my Facebook account. So let me sign out of it. Let me go to my Facebook account, hit refresh, and I have to log out. So let me log out. Great. So let me go back to my application, click on continue with Facebook. Now, as you can see, instead of being taken to the single sign-on page of WSO2's identity server, I have been taken to the login page of Facebook. So here I can give my credentials and login. And there you go. So this is the user ID and I have logged in to the identity server through Facebook. Now, to see what identity server does under the hood, that is how identity server is able to direct me to Facebook login page. Let me quickly open the developer console. So this is the network tab. So we'll be able to see the network request sent. So let me sign out. To show you the difference between the authorization request sent when I click on sign in and continue with Facebook, first let me try signing in. So here the authorization request has been sent, and as you can see, this is the authorization request, and the last path parameter in this authorization request is the code challenge method. So notice this carefully. So let me log in with my admin credentials. Once I log in, so let me clear the request, sign out. And this time, let me click on continue with Facebook. So this is the authorization request that is sent when I click on continue with Facebook. So unlike the last time, you can see the last parameter, path parameter, is the FIDP path parameter. And the parameter's value is set to FB, which is the home realm identifier of our identity provider. So this is what the SDK does when we pass FB into the sign-in method. It appends the FIDP parameter and sets the parameter's value to the home realm identifier that we passed into the sign-in method. So if you want to compose your own authorization request, then all that you need to do is to append this path parameter called FIDP and set its value to the home realm identifier of your identity provider. So that's how you add social logins to your website. And I hope you all enjoyed the session and found it very informative. Now I'll be happy to take your questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. So there is a question from one of our users. So can you please add the Docker image for WSO2 file 11 in Docker Hub? So if you go to our product page, you'll be able to find the Docker image from our product page, but I'm not really sure if it's available in the Docker Hub. So I will strongly recommend you to send this question over to our Slack channel, or we'll be able to hopefully get back to you through any channels that is available to us. But for swift response, I recommend you all to seek the help of our Slack channel. So in the meantime, until we get further questions, so this is the product page of our identity server. You can download the file 11 version of our product from here. You can download it and try it out, and we are all ears for your feedback and recommendations. So let's wait for a few minutes to see if there are any questions. So there is another question: how is added the sign in Facebook button in the IS sign up form? So when it comes to sign up form, I don't really think you will be able to add the Facebook login button. So the Facebook login button can only be accessed through a single sign-on page. So I'll show it to you. So let me close this. So when you click on sign in, so here's the only place where you can have the sign in with Facebook option. So once you click on create account, you will be taken to WSO2's identity server's self user registration form. So if you want to log into, if you want the button to the identity provider added, so the single sign-on page is the right place. So I hope that answered your question. Yes, this is our new file on identity server. So looks like we don't have any more questions. So this will be our last episode of Identity in 15 for this year. So until we meet you all next year with a new episode of Identity in 15, on behalf of our team, I would like to wish you all a very happy Christmas and a very happy New Year. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your time. Take care, stay safe, and goodbye.